Hey yo, what's going on guys? Welcome to the video, Dragonball Xenoverse 2. This time we are talking about an absolutely devastating ultimate attack skill called Divine Wrath Purification. I think they saved this best skill for last because this thing is like ridiculously overpowered. As soon as I saw the damage on it, I said I have to test this skill against Angry Explosion and against Death Ball because this is crazy. In this video, we're going to test the skill. There it is right there. We're going to test the skill and see how it is. I'm going to show you how to get it first and just wow. Wow. Okay, so first, to get this ridiculously overpowered skill, you're going to want to do Parallel Quest 112, Advent of the Mighty God Zamasu. The win conditions of this are pretty cool. Clear with all allies surviving and defeat Android 17 at the end. Now, you get two skills with this. Blades of Judgment, which is a super skill, and I'll go over that in another video at another time. But the one you want right now is Divine Wrath Purification, and this is overpowered. So first, I'm going to show you the Parallel Quest, a little bit of it. Now, if you do want to see the full entirety of these Parallel Quests, I will be uploading them probably to my second channel very shortly. So if you haven't already subscribed to my second channel of Ventus SGN Plays, please do that. The link is in the description there. Okay, shout out to my two friends here, JM1099 and Rebel Reindeer, for helping me with this Parallel Quest. I grinded this thing out. The RNGesus is not very kind. I was with Trollolol Mike for a little bit grinding this, and we did it like maybe 9 times back to back, and we only got the super skill to drop and not the ultimate skill to drop. Alright, so it drops in this part of the Parallel Quest. For me, it dropped right after Vegito Blue showed up and we were able to kill the fused Zamasu. Alright, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to skip some frames a little bit. I don't want to waste your time. Okay, Blue Vegito, there he is. He does his transformation. Alright, and since this is a fused or merged Zamasu skill, you have to kill him to get the skill. And if you don't see it pop up that says you got a skill, that means you did not get the skill and you have to try again. At least that's what it was for me. There it is. There's the skill. We got it and finished. And I'll show you again everything that I got towards the end. This is the ultimate finish where the 2 Android 17s come out. If you want to see the full thing, like I said earlier, just check back to my second channel and I will put the full gameplay up there of these Parallel Quests. Alright, so we're about to go ahead and finish. The big finish with the Trunks Sword of Hope. I can't wait. I've got the new Super Soul, lend me your energy, so it's going to make the Super Soul, make the strength of damage of with that sword attack, go up. So I can't wait to test that out a little bit later. All right, so there it is. Cleared this Parallel Quest, and boom, we got a Z rank on that. Gosh, look at all the experience to level up. Okay, I got 2 Super Souls there, and boom, there it is. Ultimate attack, Divine Wrath, Purification. And listen, when you see the damage on this thing, you're going to be like, what the freak? Okay, so boom. I want to test Angry Explosion on it and see if it's, if it's just that damn OP, because I know Angry Explosion is quite possibly the strongest hitting ultimate attack in the game. In terms of numbers, in terms of high numbers, if you can get it off, it wrecks, because Angry Explosion is one of those ultimate attacks that as long as you have bars of ki, that's how much damage you're going to do. If you've got a lot of ki and your ki strikes or your ki supers is all the way up there, you're going to wreck with this ability, especially if you can augment it with reinforcement skills and super souls and stuff like that. Alright, so I'm going to go and do this against Fused Zamasu. I liked how they say Fused Zamasu instead of Merged Zamasu. I think they did that on purpose because everybody was calling him Merged Zamasu and they wanted to sort of change everybody's opinion. Okay, so first, I'm just going to use the Divine Wrath Purification so you can see the actual damage on it. And at base form, I've got 125 max ki supers on this character, so that does 10,638 points of damage from that range. Closer up, 10,638, so I mean, I guess that's just damage. I'm going to hit it with it one more time. Oh no, this is an Angry Explosion to show you the damage of Angry Explosion compared to that. So, Angry Explosion looks like it's going to do like 5,000 more points of damage than Divine Wrath Purification, but still Divine Wrath Purification is very strong. Okay, so now I'm going to power up to Super Saiyan 2, which is the Ki Blast transformation, and we're going to hit that, and wow. In Super Saiyan 2, it does 4,000 more points of damage. Let's see how much more damage the Angry Explosion does. Oh my god damn. You know what? Well, fuck it. Angry Explosion is just cheating, bro. Angry Explosion is a cheat code. But yeah, 14,000 points of damage in Super Saiyan 2. Now, I wanted to test this out with a new, a reinforcement skill. So I got Fighting Pose G on right now, and I'm going to test out this as well as the Super Soul. Before destruction comes creation. After a little bit, that powers up, and I'll be able to do some more damage there. Okay, so this is Super Saiyan 2 with the reinforcement skill. Actually, the reinforcement skill is it active or no? Let's see. 13,000. Looks like it's doing less damage. Oh, there's the Super Soul. Now the Super Soul's activated. This is the base damage without the oh my god, 14,000 with the Super Soul activated. Now I gotta activate the reinforcement skill here and see if it's gonna do more damage. Alright, so definitely 14,487 with the reinforcement skill on. Or not reinforcement skill, with the Super Soul on. Alright, this is Angry Explosion with the Super Soul before destruction comes creation. And that is going up to 21,346. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do the Fighting Pose G if I can ever get my fingers to work right. Okay, there it is, Fighting Pose G. And here's Divine Wrath Purification. And it goes up to 15,550 points of damage with that Super Soul and Super Saiyan 2, and, well, Super Vegeta 2, and the reinforcement skill of Fighting Pose G. Let me re-up on the Fighting Pose G. And this is Angry Explosion with all of these things combined. Jesus. Oh, 22,903 points of damage. This thing legitimately clears entire life bars on these computers. I was going through trying to get, grinding for skills, whatever like that. All I would do is Fake Blast, Heavy Stamina Break, get these computers down on the ground, and I would literally just wipe out 3 bars of health on these new parallel quests. Like, Merge Zamasu wasn't even a challenge there. Alright, this part right here, I'm doing this for thumbnails. Because it just looks really cool, and I really wanted this part to be a thumbnail. So now I'm going to look at Death Ball, using the reinforcement skill and the Super Soul. Alright, so this is Death Ball, because I know Death Ball and Divine Wrath Purification, they both look sort of like the same attack, except one comes from Frieza, and this one obviously comes from Merge Zamasu. Okay, so I'm in the reinforcement skill Fighting Pose G, and this is Divine Wrath Purification, 11,601, now with the Super Soul and the reinforcement skill, and this is base form. Wait, I don't want a Kamehameha, I want to Death Ball, base form, 12,465, base form with the reinforcement skill and the Super Soul activated. Same thing with Divine Wrath Purification, 13,709, very similar in damage. Very similar in damage. Those two skills. Try it one more time. Death Ball, 12,465. Divine Wrath Purification, 13,709. Okay, so it looks like Divine Wrath Purification is definitely stronger than the Death Ball. Now let's see what they look like in Super Saiyan 2. Death Ball, no reinforcement skill here, 13,191. Divine Wrath Purification, 14,487. Now with the reinforcement skill. Fighting Pose G, Death Ball, 14,154. Divine Wrath Purification, Great Caesar's Ghost, 15,000 points of damage. Okay, running it back for one last test in this video, we're going to go Supernova Cooler versus Divine Wrath Purification. Supernova Cooler base form, no Super Soul activated, 11,328. Divine Wrath Purification, no Super Soul, gives you 10,538 points of damage. Clearly, the Supernova Cooler is stronger, but still around the same ballpark. 10,538 points of damage there. The Super Soul is going to activate in a few seconds here, and there it is. Super Soul before creation comes, what does that say? Ruin? I thought it was before creation comes destruction. Whatever. Alright, so, boom. With the Super Soul activated, 13,597 on Supernova Cooler. Divine Wrath Purification, again, 12,646 points of damage. Two very powerful skills. Now we're going to activate the reinforcement skill, Fighting Pose G, that raises the damage of these two skills even more. Supernova Cooler, 14,740 points of damage. Divine Wrath Purification coming in at 13,709 points of damage. Supernova Cooler is still stronger. Wow. Let's go Super Saiyan 2 and try the same thing and see what the results are there. Supernova Cooler going to come in at 15,581 points of damage. And then Divine Wrath Purification, 14,487. Let's go ahead and bring up the... Wait, let's try it one more time then, I guess. In case you missed the numbers. Now we're going to use the reinforcement skill Fighting Pose G and see what the damage becomes after Fighting Pose G, because Fighting Pose G, like I said earlier, raises the damage of your Ki Blast skills. Supernova Cooler goes up to 16,724 points of damage. Divine Wrath goes up to 15,550 points of damage. Wow. Try these skills out for yourself. They are very overpowered.
50 levels deep.